replay value? What is it? Are there telltale markers that can help us gauge if a game is quote-unquote replayable?
Take a look at this.
Jesus Christ,
That
Charlie.
right there is the mail. Now let's talk about the mail. Can we talk about the mail, please, Mac? I'm dying to talk about the mail with you all day, okay?
What game did it best is the most replayable?
What makes gamers keep coming back?
What makes players keep coming back?
What?
Wikipedia's definition of replay value is this: the potential of a game or other media products for continued play value after its first completion. Often the most replayed games have commonalities.
They're the same picture.
Things like open world, RPG, wide variety of ways to accomplish tasks, and a rich array of assets. All these elements indicate that a game has higher probability of replayability, not that they are. To be a contrarian,
Do you know who else's C equals 8?
Well, actually, yes, I do. It's my mom.
there are games that have all the elements of a game with replay value, but aren't, i.e.,
Assassin's Creed Unity. Mass Effect Andromeda. Star Wars Outlaws is the newest one. Has all the earmarks of a game with replay value. It's Star Wars. Everybody wants to play it, except nobody's playing it.
Then there's the inverse. Games that have no elements of replay value, but are.
Case in point, the Arkham series, Uncharted, Shadow of the Colossus.
The Last of Us. I could go on. These elements only show us the probability of a game's replay value. But some games with these elements are completely unplayable. But some games without these elements can be just, if not more replayable than its counterparts.
Now, I tell you what, I like you and I want you. Now, we can do this the easy way or we can do it the hard way. The choice is yours.
Well, I don't think you and I will be doing anything any kind of way.
Okay, I see you choosing the hard way.
Okay, cut. This isn't working. Someone get this guy up.
Now, with that in mind, we have some new factors to bring up.
Uniqueness, story, and interest.
You can have a linear campaign with only one way to beat the story and still have players coming back for more because of uniqueness, because of story, because of interest. Uncharted, for example. The story is linear, it's non-RPG. The decisions you make do not change the gameplay. Not open world, you follow a set path, and it has none of the markers of replayability. Yet, I've replayed this game, the series of games, at least twice. Why?
You always been this popular?
Well, I do seem to attract the scum of the earth. No offense.
Action like you see in a movie, but I become the main character, that was unique, and the story was interesting because we were chasing gold and glory and all the things that I love about Indiana Jones.
Fortune and glory, kid. Fortune and glory.
So, what game does it best?
What's the most replayed game of all time? That's right. You know it and I know it. It's City Skyline.
No, from my in-depth research looking through the first page of Google, I found that there's no definitive most replayed game, but there are 7 of the most frequently cited games for high replay value, which are these: 1. Skyrim, 2. Elden Ring, 3. Bloodborne, 4. Minecraft, 5. Hearthstone, 6. Smash Bros, and 7. The Witcher 3. These games completely shifted my perspective on how to view replay value, because 5 out of 7 of these games are multiplayer.
That's not even a factor that I had in mind when thinking of replay value, or other people I talked to about it. That was the last thing on their mind, was multiplayer. So why is it that 5 out of the 7 games have replay value and are multiplayer? 2 of which being strictly multiplayer games.
Who's that Pokemon?
It's Pikachu!
It's Clefairy!
So multiplayer is a factor in replayability, but how big of a factor is it? Only 2 out of the 7 of these cited games are true multiplayer games. What do I mean by that? You need to play Hearthstone and Smash Bros. With other people, or you won't get the experience developers intended for the game. Hearthstone has no story. It is meant to be played with another person. It is your deck against the other person's deck. That's the game. Smash Bros. Automatically bends its entire gameplay towards multiplayer. Even the campaign is used to unlock characters the more you play through it, so that you can use them during your multiplayer experience. That's why I would call both those two games a true multiplayer and not Minecraft. The reason I wouldn't add Minecraft as a true multiplayer is because 50% of the time players are normally going solo, which means the game isn't reliant on multiplayer like Smash or Stone. Bronze Age version of Smash or Pass. So, if multiplayer is such a big factor, why aren't games like Call of Duty, Battlefield, Halo, or Medal of Honor on this list? Because multiplayer isn't a big factor in replay value. It's a factor, just not a big one. The Witcher 3, I've played this game. I didn't even know it had a multiplayer. Elden Ring, Bloodborne. These games have co-op mode so that you don't want to kill yourself halfway through facing Melania. If you play any of these games from buy from software. Most of the games on this list are single-player first games. The Witcher is a solo experience. The Bourne and The Ring are single-player first experience. Skyrim is exclusively single-player, no friends.
First time.
So what makes players keep coming back? Okay, I'm about to go down a rabbit hole, but it helps explain what I'm talking about. Why was Friends the most watched show from the late 90s to the early 2000s? Familiarity. People come back to what's comfortable, something familiar, but not the same. Every episode of Friends wasn't the same episode on repeat. It was a new episode with the same characters in the same places. I think we have this familiarity in games as well. Sure, I'm playing a new character. I'm playing a different playstyle for this new run on Skyrim. But it's still Skyrim. I'm still the Dragonborn. I'm still meeting the same people and doing the same objectives that I did before, or the same stories, or what have you. Though, this time, I'm going through it differently, but in the same familiar way. Is that what replay value is? Let me know. Stay safe, and I hope you have a great day.
The boulder feels conflicted about fighting a young, blind girl.
What are you looking at? I'm not afraid of you, even if you are my elder.
The boulder's over his conflicted feelings